Good afternoon. It's glad to be back with everybody again. Today we're going to talk about many topics, including the budget and a lot of the programs or projects going on in our department. The timing was just right. The budget will be adopted, so we'll go ahead and get started and talk about the budget. So when I send this video link out to the department, I will also attach a budget document that'll show everything that the department was approved for or will be purchasing in the next 12 months. But just some of the highlights of the budget that I think are important is we are getting a new non-civil service EMS position. It basically will be an executive admin for EMS. Everybody knows that EMS is pretty much our bread and butter. About 70% of what we do and the things we respond on. EMS needs some administrative help. We have DEA requirements, we have the state requirements, we now have federal requirements through our billing and HIPAA. So we asked the budget and were graciously approved for one non-civil service position that will handle a lot of the compliance, a lot of the audit, and many of the administrative positions that EMS is constantly being bombarded with. This position will begin October 1st. We'll probably start advertising really soon and see if there's an internal candidate in the city. If not, we will go outside to look for this right person. But you got to know the city only approved 8 new positions in the entire city, and we were fortunate to get one of those. So again, thank you to our council and our city manager for supporting our EMS department, as we know that is probably our most important department in the fire department. Some other things we're getting in the budget include a drug dispenser for our narcotics and some of our more sensitive drugs. We are being audited by the DEA very soon. The DEA was in our office doing a compliance visit. We are going to be a distributor for all of our narcotics, which means there will be much more accountability and much more documentation at each fire station. There's been several emails put out by Captain Overton and Chief Murphy about checking the drugs, documenting the usage. I cannot tell you how imperative that will be when we have our DEA audit, because the federal government does not play around when we have missing drugs or we don't have the form filled out. So it's incumbent upon all of us to make sure we follow the law, follow the process, and do exactly what we're supposed to do with our narcotics and our drugs, because it truly can get us in substantial trouble with the federal government, not to mention a monetary fine that we really don't want to have to deal with. Other items in the budget we are getting are new thermal imager cameras that will go on our RIC teams. We're getting voice amps for our SCBA mask. We're also looking at a Lucas CPR machine for all the ambulances. Our training budget was increased, and there's a plethora of other smaller things that I will put in that budget document when we send it out. Some of the CIP that was approved includes Quint 10 and Engine 1. They are already being produced, and Chief Murphy and a group go very soon to Wisconsin to actually pick those 2 items up, because they're just about done. Engine 4 is about to start in production as we speak. Medic 10 for Station 10 will be purchased very soon, and we also have, for the first time, 2 remounts on our ambulances. Instead of buying 2 brand new ambulances this budget, we are going to try the remount system through Frazier to see how that works. Basically, the box will be refurbished and renewed, and you'll have a new chassis on that ambulance. Also, a 3% raise for all city personnel, whether it's civil service or not, which is another very good thing, because the city is also not touching the benefits or the insurance. So you're going to see a 3% raise as well as no change in benefits. And not many cities can still say that to date. Many cities are giving 2, 1, sometimes a 3% raise, but they're also raising the insurance rates or deductibles or copays. Our city's not doing that. So we are in a very good, stable financial position in our city of Grand Prairie as of 2015-2016. Station 10, it is finally underway after many, many months of wondering myself. They should be pouring concrete and doing the piers and foundation very soon. The personnel have already been hired. However, of the 18 positions for Station 10, we only were able to fill 17. So we actually still have one position open as well as 2 current vacancies. So we are having a hiring test very soon, and we will begin filling those 3 vacancies within the next 6 to 8 weeks. There's a captain list out, or a captain test bank out for the exam that'll be held sometimes after the 91st day, once the list was issued. As I told everybody, lieutenants and drivers, your list is good for Station 10. The ordinance was adopted by council for our staffing. April 16th, and I'll put that ordinance out as well as the budget document when this video goes out. April 16th of 2016 will be the promotional date for Station 10. Now, Station 10 won't be opened yet. May 20th is that date. However, we will promote off the current list, done by ordinance, adopted by council. So everybody who's on those lists and those promotable ranges, you are good to go for an April 16th promotion. That gives us plenty of time to train the staff, assign the projects, and get some work done for Station 10 before it opens. One bit of news that's sort of new to our department that hadn't been talked about much is we were recently approved for a ATF Arson Dog. Many cities applied throughout the nation, and Grand Prairie was one of the very few fire departments chosen to be awarded an ATF Arson Dog. What that means for us is we will send Lieutenant Kevin Briggs to the Canine Arson School. It's almost a 6-week process, and he will leave in November. He will also pick up his dog that he will be given at that training as well. We will have a federal ATF dog located within our department. So when we have an arson case, we have an instant access to a federally trained dog. Not only is it an arson dog, but it'll be a great public relations tool for us. As you well know, the police department partners that we have, their canine unit gets numerous public relation requests, and our dog will be the same. So that's going to be a great tool for our department. It'll be a great tool for Dallas-Fort Worth departments. It'll also be a terrific PR tool for Kevin and for our schools, our elementary schools, and just a plethora of other things we can do with the Arson Dog. So that is a work in progress, and we have an interview with the ATF next September 25th, and hopefully everything will go well and that will move forward. Next topic is physicals, medical physicals that we've been probably talking about for 6 to 8 months. The city put out an RFQ, which means request for qualifications, to firms who can do fire department physicals. I believe there were 5 that were submitted. We vetted those out through interviews. We scored them through a process that purchasing gave us. Different fire department people scored this as well as HR. And the winning team so far is OcuMed, which is out of California, but they have a Fort Worth and Dallas office. Now, the beauty of OcuMed is they will bring all of the fire department physical equipment to our department. So here's how this will work. Sometime next year, OcuMed will set up right here in this building for 3 days. That will be chest x-ray, all the scanners, all the medical equipment, the stress test equipment will all be set up here in this building. We will rotate whatever half or third of our department through here to get their medical physicals, and you will get the results within a week of after getting this physicals. The results go right to you. It'll be for your information, but as you well know in the fire service, cancer and coronary artery disease continues to kill our brothers and sisters, and we've got to get ahead of this nationwide. The cancer rate for firefighters continues to go up, and so hopefully these physicals that'll be aimed at firefighters and cover some of the exposure we have will hopefully help us, our department, and help us get a little bit more healthy as we move forward. Some other things working on right now that just are worthy of discussion. The joint Irving Grand Prairie Fire Training Center is still moving forward. That is another thing. When you build a training center outside your city with another city, things don't go near as smooth or as quickly as I would have hoped. We are a little bit over budget, so we're having to go back and figure out how much concrete can be cut. But the project is moving forward. Irving has been a great partner. Irving Fire Department is almost our sister department when you talk about size, complexity, and diversity. So they will be a good partner to have at a training center, which is about 8 minutes right up 161. ISO will be evaluated in June of 2016. You've seen some emails about our training hours. Much more work will come out of this. Our ISO rating in our city is a 3. We should be at least a 2, if not a 1. So Chief Allman will be in charge of that, and you'll get more information as we move forward. I want to talk briefly about the EPIC. The EPIC was voter approved and will break ground next month right outside the Central Park campus where the public safety building is. The EPIC's roughly an $80 million project the city is building. It will be a 4-story recreation center that will have every amenity that you can imagine in a recreation center. It'll have an outdoor amphitheater. It'll have numerous walking trails. It'll have numerous playscapes, not to mention probably the world's largest playscape for all abilities that we will get thousands of visitors per week here. And it'll also have an indoor water park, which will be sort of the central theme of the entire EPIC. We're anticipating thousands of visitors every day starting sometime in late 2017 to be visiting this facility. There'll be nothing else like it in the state. So to prepare for that, we will have a paramedic assigned there either full-time or assigned there on some time an overtime basis to keep our EMS office and some type of EMS awareness at the EPIC, because there could be up to 10,000 people there any given day. So we need to be prepared just like we would at the horse race or QT Park, any of the other entertainment venues in the city. Briefly, I want to mention the sort of hard thing to talk about in our department, which is the driving while intoxicated. Our department has had more than our fair share of challenges when it comes to DWIs. An email was put out with a memo as well as what our stance will be on DWIs from here on out. And I've already made this stance with a previous employee. If you are convicted, not arrested for, not sent to a trial, but convicted by a judge or a jury of DWI, you will lose your job in this department. I cannot make that any more clear than I need to make it. We have a public perception, we are held to a higher standard, and unfortunately when you accepted this job, you also accept that our standard will be higher than what the public standard is. I'm going to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Nobody is perfect. But when it comes to DWI, there are too many ride-sharing programs. We have too many brothers and sisters that can watch out for us. We've got to do a little bit better job of this. So in the future, if you have to deal with this problem, I'm just letting you know right up front, as well as the memo that went out, a conviction of DWI will be career-ending for this department. So I urge all of us to be careful, enjoy your time out, but take the advantage of those ride-sharing programs and keep your brothers and sisters in mind when you're out and about. The Gala, the Fire Department Gala, which we are hosting every other year, will be November 14th at the Arlington Sheraton. I've seen the prize list, I've seen the award nominations, and this is going to be a great year for our awards gala, or as some of you have called it, our Fire Department prom. It will be again November 14th at the Arlington Sheraton. I believe there's already 40 rooms reserved, and the rooms are booking fast, so please go ahead and make your reservation. It'll be a great night with great entertainment, great awards, and we'll celebrate 2015 the way we know how to celebrate. As you remember, we've talked about how we're doing our awards and our picnic. But instead of having an annual awards banquet, we're looking at an every other year awards banquet. And then in between those off years, we're going to have a fire department family picnic just to relax and get the families together. I think this is a win-win for our department, especially the size. We're not a Dallas where we could have every year annual awards banquet, but we are big enough that we do need to celebrate our successes, recognize those individuals, and sort of relax one night and just have a good time. So in closing, I want everybody to know I'm approaching my 3-year mark. It's hard to believe it's already been 3 years. We are selling our house south down in the peninsula and investing a tremendous amount of money in a house in Nottingham. You have me for a very long time. This is home. We are making it our home. We're moving up to Nottingham because that's really going to be our retirement place when I decide to move on, whether that's 6, 8, 10 years down the road. But I am here for this long term. We have 230 people in our department, and it is very tough as chief, not only for me, but our assistant chiefs and battalion chiefs, to have 100% harmony and 100% outstanding morale. With 230 people, that is virtually impossible to do. But what I can promise you I will do, and I will always do for the next many years I will be here, we will always strive to improve anything we do. We will strive to make this department as safe as we can. We will strive to be progressive, and we will also strive to limit our liability. Some of the decisions we're making, whether it's related to paramedic school or medical physicals, do not make everybody happy in this department. I cannot keep 100% of you as happy as I would like to. I'm just letting you know, as your chief, I'm doing everything in my power to make this department as best we can, as safe we can, and make this the gold standard in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. We are getting 300, 400, 500 people to apply here to come to work here because we are becoming the department people want to work at. That's not anything I'm doing, that's everything you are doing. I appreciate everyone's hard work. I appreciate our battalion chiefs stepping up, taking on programs. I really appreciate our assistant chiefs taking on the programs, our administrative staff's working hard, and you as firefighters are producing that service to the citizens that we get a weekly thank you letter or saving a life almost every week. So thank you for what you're doing. This is a great department. We have a great future moving forward. Again, reminder about the Gala. I hope I see everybody there November 14th. Be safe. Go home tonight. Thank you.